I'm having a catch with my head.
And welcome to NFL Mock Draft 13.0. I don't know why I do that, why I say 13.0 and it's not just 13. You don't need the 0.0. There's no value in that. I have no idea. I noticed that. Like I think Mock 6. I was like at Mock Draft 6.0. I wondered did you hear that? That was my Apple phone watch. Yes, I'm doing a draft. Jump on into the chat room and say hello to everyone if you get a chance. So.
Oh, was that just broadcast on your draft?
Oh boy. Yeah. So Mock Draft 13.0. So far in the chat we've had, I don't know if they're back yet, but we have had Tom Bon Jovi, Eric Craig, J. Cole, Jets Gang, everybody all ramped up and ready to go for a mock Jeff draft. I don't know if you saw this, so I'll play it again.
I'm having a catch with my head.
My brothers think it's a really bad idea for me to play that too much. I just can't help myself. So, yes, it is mock draft 13. She's on already. It's mock draft 13.0. 13.0. We are at 13.0 of the mock draft. And we will get started right after my real intro, right after this. A 115 team takes a running back. You just took your franchise quarterback. You had a running back. And I'd be pissed if I was a Jacksonville fan. I love that, talking about Green Bay. He'll never find out. Believe me, nobody knows better what it looks like when an organization is about to go to shit than a New York Jet fan. And Justin Fields proved that he can hold it together. He can regroup. It's okay if he struggles. And we got a big game against the Eagles, and maybe you need some energy, so wake up! We have every right to expect the Jets to win. Rich Cimini, schmuck, putz. Okay, here we go. All right. So, our friend from New Zealand is in the house. Is Tom Brady retired or not? I'm getting mixed messages over here in New Zealand. I think that's the last I heard, because I haven't actually heard, and maybe people can correct me. I haven't seen a press conference. I haven't officially personally. I've been watching Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker for the past hour and a half, and I was watching the collegiate bowl or whatever, not the senior bowl, but I guess the collegiate one, which is boring as hell. And I have not seen anything official. So I can't 100% answer that question, except it was coming out that he was supposedly going to retire. So missed you live with Green Bean on Thursday. Watch the replay, man. Yeah. You could watch the replay. Well, maybe you did, and that's how you knew I was on Thursday. Yeah, when his guest doesn't show up, it provides opportunity for me and Y2K to come on a little bit longer and do more, I guess. And that was a lot of fun. There was even a time where Green Bean froze up and left for a little bit, and me and Frankie were back together for a reunion. That lasted about 2 minutes until Green Bean got back, but it was kind of funny. Twitter says not yet. Okay, Twitter says not yet. My wife giving out Jet news. My wife joining the party. I'll have her completely converted 100% Jets soon enough. That's why I got her the Zach jersey and the Eli jersey. Jeremy, a.k.a. Mr. Saturday Night. Apparently Mr. Friday Night and Mr. Sunday Afternoon and everything in between. My wife's a student. She's getting another master's and getting her credentials to be a therapist. So she has to work. Everything is due on Sunday. So she has tons of work. And I could either play video games, watch TV, or hang out with you guys. And I chose to hang out with you guys. And she's happy. Because I'm not out at a bar up to no good. She knows where I am. I'm upstairs talking to my friends about the Jets. Braden, thanks, Jocelyn. Yeah, thanks, Jocelyn. Thanks for doing my job. Did you think that I actually had valuable information or content to offer, Braden? No, you got the wrong guy. You got to subscribe to my wife's channel, which actually doesn't exist. I guess that she will be a new segment on the show, the Jocelyn Cravat segment, where she'll answer your news questions for you. Tom Brady has a kid with Cardi B. Sources. Is that I'm taking that as to mean we don't know that he's really retired because we could read anything according to sources. That's how I'm going to take that. What's up, J. Cole? Welcome back. You were here before in the chat. Then you realized, oh, he's on. It's on. I better get in. And Jets, yeah, my man, holding that. What is that? Is that a Wilson jersey? No, that can't be. It's Williams, right? I'm trying to look at the jersey that you're holding up, but it looks like a number 1 on it, so I'm confused. Is that you in the picture, holding up that jersey? Or was that a Wilson, like number 1, our first pick jersey kind of thing? I don't know. I'm sure you'll let me know. Anyway, we got 2 feet of snow here. Are you in New York? Is that are you upstate New York? Because I thought the city got about a foot, but I remember if you go upstate, you always have more. So I forgot. I don't think I've ever asked you exactly where you live, Tom. Tell everybody where you live. Give your address on a YouTube chat. That's a good idea. Give your address. Never mind if a little kid's sleeping in bed. Give out your address. It's not like it would get to the wrong person, right? Oh, you're in Long Island. You know I went to Stony Brook? J. Cole, did you know I went to Stony Brook? So I lived on Long Island for a while. I used to go to Patchogue and hang out there. That was near Stony Brook. I used to go out to Port Jeff for happy hour. We used to drive into Huntington to party and everything. All the good partying was in Huntington back then. I was a Long Island guy for a while. You know, who knows? Things could have went weird and twisted. I could have ended up living in Long Island. Do you remember in the same situation? Our wives are getting masters in. I only have time for video games. We have a 2-year-old. What is your wife getting a master's in? She is getting it in. She was an occupational therapist for the last 10 to 15 years. And California, that's the absolute worst because they treat you like it's a punch-in job here. You work for a nursing home. They give no benefits. It's like a contractor kind of thing. So, and they give like no vacation, and I'm in education and she gets no vacation, which just didn't work well. Right. It was so little vacation days, no holidays. And she liked the psychological part of it. She liked she was really good at getting people to believe they can do things again and to recover mentally and emotionally. So she always loved that part of it. So she's getting our MFT. She's going to be a marriage family therapist or family marriage therapist or something like that. I think she put it in the chat. And she's doing it all online, which is really nice because that keeps her safe. She's not one to get this virus. It would not be a good thing for her because of certain health things. So she's taking advantage of this whole thing by doing online, going back to school, and turning this whole last 2-year fiasco into a positive by switching to a more rewarding career that's going to make her happier. So that's what she's studying. Did J. Cole send you highlights yet? Yeah, he did. I have the link. And after the draft, I got to text the link to myself or something, or I got to forward it to my work email. So then I'll open it up and I'll get it all going. So we'll do like an intermission while I set it up. But he did send me the highlights. He does have tape, and it's really cool. So I absolutely have his highlights. And welcome, John the Postman. I am glad that you are here. Everybody knows John the Postman, by the way, is Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. I don't know if I could be on with you tomorrow, dude, unless it's going on earlier, because the game apparently starts at 12 noon. And as you know, I'm doing the game watch party. So let me know if your show's going to be on earlier before the game starts tomorrow. Like what time tomorrow? If it's before the game and before I have to go on, I'll definitely be there. And that was my wife telling you. Laughing along, I hate the cost of living. About 20 minutes from Stony Brook, 10 minutes from Patchogue. Cool. Yeah, man. So me and my wife used to go years after I graduated, we used to go up to wine country. So we used to pass Stony Brook, go a little bit further, and we'd hit those outlets up. I'm sure you know where they are and what I'm talking about. We'd hit those outlets. So we'd make a whole day of it. We would definitely hit the outlets. And then we would drive down that road to where the wineries were. And we found a winery that we love called Bedell. It was definitely one of our favorites. We still have wine from them, maybe, if I look. I'm not sure. And yeah, we loved it, man. We loved the whole vibe up there. And I guess it got really expensive. I have some friends on Long Island, obviously. I went to Stony Brook, and plus I taught in New York City, and a lot of teachers live in Long Island. So we got some good friends in Long Island. I got fraternity brothers from Stony Brook that live in Long Island. So, no, it's all cool. It's all good. Just to hang out there all the time. Huntington was fun, but now I heard you don't have to go to Huntington anymore up there. I heard Patchogue came to life. I thought Port Jeff was the bomb anyway. Man, I love Port Jeff. I could do a bit with psychological therapy being a gentleman. Yeah, that's why she's doing it. She's doing it because she's trying to save me. Is J. Cole bossing people around? He's young. He's 19. So, he's learning. We'll teach him. We're going on from 12 to 1 Eastern, but isn't that when the game is? I think the game is on at 12. You're going to go on during the game? Because I keep throwing advertisements today, and they're acting like the game is at 12. So, or is the game 3 hours later, and it was 3? Like, I'm confused now. Let me look at this. I'm so confused. Let me look at this. NFL, Bengals, Chiefs, 12 p.m., dude. That's 12 p.m. Oh, is that my time 12? That's my time 12. Oh, okay, never mind. I'll be there. It's my time 12 that the game is on, which is your time 3. Okay, I get it. Eccles autograph pick might be worth some money now. Eccles autograph. Yeah, who knows, man? He might end up being a we'll see. We'll see how he does his second year, right? Okay, cool. So he goes. My wife, don't worry, she trusts me. I can go to bachelor parties and stuff. I have the trust. I'm not allowed to go anywhere until like this whole COVID is completely gone, or gone to the point where we don't have to think about it anymore. I saw the news last night that you are in for a big storm. Are you worried at all? Or all sorted? Oh, you're talking about that's Tom Bon Jovi. Yeah, they had 2 feet of snow. I remember Long Island used to get more snow than the city, but what's crazy is no matter how much snow New York City gets, I remember we were there for there was 2 feet of snow. It was crazy. And literally the city shut down. School was closed on Friday. By Saturday night, I was walking around Times Square, we're going to a show or something, or we were doing something. It's crazy how fast that city gets going again. It's just a crazy city. Yeah, I'll be there, buddy. I didn't realize I mixed it up. It finally happened to me. I thought I had it all down, the East Coast, West Coast, and I don't get confused anymore. You finally caught me. I got confused. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, man. I'm looking forward to it. That is, if you guys want to see me on John Post's show on Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports, I'll be there tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern. We will be talking about the playoffs, and during the year, when next year starts, and building up to next year, building up to your draft, everything. If you have fantasy football, if you play fantasy football, you have to know about these sites because these guys do a lot of analysis and they'll give you a lot of data and a lot of information. So they give a lot of good advice. They know what they're talking about. John has a whole spreadsheet. You can see every position broken down, how, what their expected scoring is going to be. It's really good stuff. And I highly suggest it. But tomorrow we'll be talking about the playoffs and the games, and we have a good time. So feel free to join us at Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Guys on bikes delivering pizza during Hurricane Sandy. That is the truth. That is the truth. I will never forget that. So we went out during Hurricane Sandy. We were on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and we went outside and we're watching these guys driving their bikes with food and order. And we were watching people because we lived right down the block was one of the fake original Rays, one of the places that pretended they're original Rays, but they're not. And on the corner, we could see people walking down I think it was Columbus Avenue, holding their pizza boxes. So places just stayed open during Hurricane Sandy. And I don't know what it is about the west side of Manhattan, the Upper West Side, but it's like protected by some magical force field because we didn't lose power. We had no issues at all. It's like the only part of the city that was like untouched, unscathed. And we got V-Man here. Hope everyone is aware Brady is retiring. Yeah, we everybody. That's what we're trying to find out because they keep saying he is, but it hasn't officially happened yet. He's sending his people out for damage control after it leaked early because he is waiting to get 15 million bonus. Also, he likes suspense. So if he's due for a bonus, it makes sense that he would wait. I also don't believe he's going to retire a Tampa Bay Buck. I think that he's going to they're gonna manipulate it or give permission that he signs a one-day contract and retires a Patriot. Give me a break. I mean, that's got to happen. 3 Hall of Famers retired: Ben, Tom Brady, and Lee Kravitz. You always got to throw in Lee. You always got to bring my brother into it, Mess. You always got to bring in my brother. So, hey, what we did for lunch, dinner, Mess? We went to Folsom, the same Folsom near Folsom Prison, like that Folsom, the one Johnny Cash sings about. I'm going to Folsom Prison. By the right next, not far from the Johnny Cash hiking trail. It was recommended by someone who had actually lived in Taiwan, a guy who worked for me over the summer, and he's actually back there now going to school. And he told me, he goes, if you want the best Chinese food in the area, because I always bitch about the Chinese food in Sacramento, he goes, go to Folsom and this shopping center. And it turns out the shopping center is where we take our dog to the vet. And my dog actually got acupuncture today. I'm not making that up. He's high stress. So the vet is actually a friend of ours. I did improv with her husband, went to their wedding, the whole thing. And she said, look, I just got credentialed in doing acupuncture. And I'm thinking to myself, because, to me, that's like a gypsy looking in a crystal ball, right? I don't believe that shit. And she took this needle and put it on the back of my dog's head. And I'm not shitting you. Within a minute, he was like laying down calm. I was like, holy shit. I think he's probably downstairs sleeping right now. Like she said, it knock him out for a couple of days. So acupuncture is real. It's crazy. What are we talking about now? Get Jeremy a like on the way. People, thanks, Eric. Yeah, I noticed that. I always forget. You guys such good looking out. Yeah, because sometimes I look like the next day and I'll see like 15, 16 likes. And I'm like, my God, you guys are the best. I didn't even have to ask. Like, you guys are in there doing it for me, reminding everybody to hit the like button. I appreciate that so much. Freaking guys are awesome because I'm like learning this whole thing. And it's like, I always like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to tell people to subscribe if they haven't subscribed. I'm supposed to say, help me out and hit the like button. And I never do that. So thanks for looking out, my friend. I appreciate that. And don't worry. The more that algorithm goes out there, the more people we get in here, the more fun it's going to be and more exciting it'll be, right? He did the same thing when he left New England. They were eliminated wildcard weekend, and he waited till March 17th to announce it the whole time that he was leaving. Cryptic tweets about his decision. That's interesting. I do remember that. Like I remember there was a lot of mystery surrounding Tom Brady for a long time after that last season in New England. Definite truth there. But anyway, let's get to this draft. Now, yesterday had an unofficial draft. It doesn't count as 13. It was just during a Friday night hangout. I actually had some fun we had our friend Jacob, 49ers fan here. I'm actually fighting with a friend of mine who's like threatening not to be my friend, who's a 49er fan, this other dude. And it's kind of unbelievable. He's on Facebook saying they should fire Shanahan. They're going to lose Sunday because he's a stinky coach and he always chokes he choked in the Atlanta Super Bowl. Shanahan, he choked in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And I'm like, dude, I go, you're miserable right now. You're yelling fire the coach while your team is in the NFC Championship game. Like, if you can't be happy as a fan of your team in this moment, if you're not enjoying your team being in the NFC Championship game, if you're not happy you're in the freaking Final Four and you're not enjoying that moment, why would you even be a fan? Like, what's the point? What's the point of being a fan? If They're in the NFC Championship game. And he's miserable. And arguing with me that I don't understand that the 49ers coaches have to live up to a higher standard. And I'm like, he's like, we're used to winning Super Bowls. And I'm like, dude, it's been 25 fucking years since you've won a Super Bowl. All right? Come back or come to our century. The 49ers are not special as an organization. They have a great history. I like the 49ers. And I got so many friends here that root for them. And I want what's best for my friends. And I like Kittle and I like their players. And I root for and I want my friends to be happy. But to sit there and be miserable, it's insulting because he's more miserable than we are. And we were 4-13. We're having fun. We're on this channel. We talk. We have a good time. We're excited about the future. We're talking about the draft. We're having fun. And he's on Facebook screaming, and that shows that he's not in the century yet, right? He's still on Facebook screaming this. Oh, they need to fire him. They need to the Shanna fraud or whatever the whole thing, and Gitmo, I'm not taking a poke at you, okay, because that's a totally different situation. We're talking about Shanahan, a coach who into now 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years as a head coach. He was in that Atlanta Super Bowl, I think, as the offensive coordinator. And then he's not in 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. He was in a Super Bowl a few years ago, and now he's within a game of the Super Bowl. But my point is, Shanahan technically is as good as a coach who won the Super Bowl. And let me explain that. He put the 49ers in a position to win as much as any coach could put them to win. Jimmy G missed a wide open receiver to win that football game. Okay? Nothing to do with the coach. Nothing to do with the coach. The coach called the right play. Shanahan put them in a position to win that game easily. Jimmy G did not deliver. You can't, and every Niner fan had ordained Jimmy G the next Tom Brady. I live here. I know. We franchise quarterback, the greatest quarterback ever. So don't blame Shanahan for that because everybody was on board with Jimmy G. So Shanahan didn't choke. Shanahan won a Super Bowl in the sense that he put them in the position and as a coach won that game because the receiver was wide open. The game was won. Do you know how many times any NFL quarterback, you pick the weakest NFL quarterback in the league, makes that touchdown pass? Wide open. Do you know how many an NFL quarterback? I could throw you a 40-yard pass. Anybody that's listening right now, 35, 40-yard pass. You're running around. I could throw the ball to you. I do it with my kids. I throw 30, 35 yards because they're smaller. They're 5th graders. I don't want to kill them. But they're every day after school now. I'm throwing passes to them, and they're catching them. Little kids are executing that. He was well protected. He was in the pocket, had vision. Guy wide open, missed it. That is not the fault of a coach. In my mind, Shanahan won the Super Bowl or is as good as a coach who won the Super Bowl because he did nothing to lose that game. And it's just pathetic. And I'm sorry, I just want to let that out and then he's saying you're losing the argument, so you're getting personal. I said personal because I said that it's sad that you're not enjoying this. I mean, are you kidding me? Everybody in football in the NFL, all 32 fan bases enjoyed last weekend. The best 4 games in the NFL. He has the honor of it being one of his teams, and he's telling me about the standard of the 49ers. That if you don't win in 3 years, the Super Bowl, you're out. Well, maybe that's why you haven't won since Steve Young was there. You had Joe Montana, Steve Young, Bill Walsh. You won a couple with Seifert or whatever, who took over Walsh's magic team and you still had the great quarterback. It's like somebody said the other on Twitter about whoever fills in for Tom Brady. It's like he left the keys in the Jaguar. You know what I mean? So don't sit there and tell me that you have a different standard. No, you didn't. The Niners haven't fired more coaches than any other team has in the last 25 years. They're just like any NFL organization. And guess what? If their standard is you don't win a Super Bowl in 2 to 3 years, you're gone. If that's how they're managing their football team, it's not working. It's not working. It's been over 25 years since they won the Super Bowl. So it's not working. So maybe you should take your standard and you know where you could stick your standard. Okay? Be happy you're not 4-17 or 4-13. Be happy. Enjoy your winning because it's a waste. We deserve to be there. If their fans are going to be like that, you don't deserve to even be there. But I'm not going to say that about the other Niner fans because all my 49er fan friends, other than this one person, is thrilled to be there. So don't get the wrong idea about 49er fans. This is a guy from a different generation who's attached to a different group of 49er fans from the 90s. We used to call them the 40 whiners. Because if they didn't win the Super Bowl each year, they like in the 90s, after that last one with Young, all they would do is cry and complain and whine, as if they were entitled and supposed to win the Super Bowl every single year. A ridiculous expectation. Be happy when you're competitive. There's 32 teams fighting to be the best. Be happy to be competitive. Some people just like being unhappy. That's madness. Yeah. It's certainly not chaos. It's madness, but it's not chaos. Brady retiring is official, but that was 7 hours ago. Okay, so NFL Instagram says his retiring is official. So it's weird because he should be talking to us about it. If Brady retiring is mad because he's all over ESPN. It's no secret anymore. Yeah, if it wasn't meant to be out there, he must be pissed. Yeah, I mean, look, the bottom line is, the bottom line is with Shanahan is that the Niners are in the NFC Championship game and they've been to a Super Bowl. So however his career will be remembered as a coach, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be thinking about firing Shanahan right now, right? Like if you're a Niners fan, you're not thinking. You're not the day before the NFC Championship game going on Facebook saying my team's going to lose because Shanahan stinks. And I can't wait until he's fired, right? You're not doing that. At least I hope you're not. Like, I hope if the Jets ever get to the the AFC Championship game, like in 2 years, whatever it is, if we're there, we're not talking about how we need to fire Saleh, right? I mean, that would be sad. Hell, I'm thrilled they are there. It's a reflection of what the Jets are attempting to build. Exactly, Eric. Exactly. If the Niners suck this year, and if Shanahan got fired, I'd be like, holy shit, we modeled our entire scheme and plan on that team. I know Gitmo doesn't like to talk about that as much. I know we're a separate organization and a separate team. But the reality is we're taking their offensive scheme. That was, literally our offensive coordinator was taught by Shanahan. I mean, it's not just the same scheme like West Coast offense. It's Shanahan's offense. Okay, with LaFleur mixed in, because by the way, one of those great plays he called, I forget which one, it was one of those exciting trick plays that we all went crazy over, was a play he said he wrote up as a junior in high school. So it's not like he doesn't have any plays that are his and he's just taking a different playbook. So just wanted to throw that in. Yeah, we got obviously Saleh's bringing the San Francisco defense here, right? And we're even getting players. We're poaching players from them. I mean, so we want them to do well. Them doing well means at least we're trying to copy or emulate the strategy and the turnaround and the rebuild that worked in San Francisco. The Cowboys fans are the same way. They feel like they are entitled to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, and that's another team but it hasn't happened in 25 years. Or 26 years, whatever it is, 27, man. I mean, it's been since 97 or 96, like one of those years. It's like, guys, it's, if you're 18 years old, I mean, okay, so J. Cole, in his lifetime, the Cowboys, he's here in the chat. In his lifetime, neither the Cowboys or the 49ers have been in a Super Bowl. No, that's not true. The Niners were in the Super Bowl, but have won a Super Bowl in his lifetime. So that tells you all you need to know. I mean, it's like you're now. It's like I understand if you grow up and you're used to winning and everything, and then Patriot fans might have to get used to that one day. But at some point, you have to accept that no, you were a team that was winning. You were living the dream. That was a great thing, but that's not normal. That's one of those rare things. Like what the Patriots did is beyond not normal. It's the only time in history it's happened. Like a 20-year freaking dynasty. I mean, it's never been like that. There's no other team in modern history that I know of that 20 years. So, maybe that spoils you as a fan. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing that we got used to losing. So when we win, we'll appreciate it. Because never in my heart or my mind will I expect to win Super Bowls every year or think that we need to fire our coach if they don't. I just want to compete. I expect to compete every year for a long time. I hope that happens. And then if there ever needs to be a rebuild, I understand that happens. What was that cocaine play? The cocaine play, yeah. Hey, guys, so this Nicholas Falzone, let me tell you about Nicholas Falzone, okay? Nicholas Falzone, when he was 4 years old, okay, used to call me Uncle Weck. I'm not going to get into he still calls me Uncle Weck. I'm not going to get into how I became Uncle Weck and why a lot of people call me Weck. His father is the one that named me. But Nicholas Falzone was 4 years old. I'm going to embarrass him right now, okay? And I used to give him choke slams, okay, because I was a big wrestling fan. And he would make this sad face and go, "No, I don't want to choke slam." And I would pick him, I would do the whole thing like I'm holding his neck, but I'd like really lift him by his side. I'd lift him up and slam him into the pillow. His brother would like jump on me and body slam him. I used to drop the elbow on him. And one day he was being bad. He wasn't being good. And they had this stack of boxes in the living room. And his father's name is Jack. He's like my big brother. Like he's my big brother's best friend, Matthew's best friend. But he was like my brother. We were like family. We still are. He takes Nick and says, if you don't shut up, and that's exactly how we would talk. He goes, "You're gonna be sorry." And Nick goes, "Bah, bah, bah, bah," like he wants a cookie or something. And Jack takes him and puts them on the boxes that are stacked up, like they're like moving boxes, and put them up there. And he goes, "Good, now you're stuck up there." And within 3 seconds, Nick looks at us and starts crying. "Ah!" And we look at the staircase, like through the living room, to see if Mom is coming. And Jack got scared. He's like, "Oh, no. And he goes and he pulls them off the boxes because if Mom would have came down, that was the end of us. We would have been dead. Dead as a doornail. So anyway, Nick, welcome. I'm so glad that you came and you're watching. That's hysterical. I didn't expect that. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Nick also played football. He was a quarterback for, oh my God, it wasn't Iona. It was in that league, upstate New York, though, right? Put it in the chat. Anyway, he played quarterback and then he played receiver. He played college ball. Gave him a free ride, I think. I think he got scholarship, the whole thing. He played in Brooklyn Midwood High School. So he did more than any of us, any of his uncles, and as far like all of us. We're looking at these kids, the next generation, and they're like surpassing everything we did. His cousin, who's their sister, Jack's sister, that kid was a walk-on and got on to Pittsburgh. Utica, that's right. You played for Utica. He was a walk-on on Pittsburgh. I mean, these kids, and now their other cousin, my best friend, who's like my brother, David, I call him Smush. His son or his sons are like ridiculous baseball players. So like these kids are blowing away everything we ever did. They're actually doing something with sports. Like we played in the street and now they're taking it to the next level. They're playing it in college. It's absolutely out of control. So, hey, Nick, I'm still and will always be your Uncle Weck. And I will, no matter how big you get, and even though you can crush me, somehow I can put you in a choke slam. And if not that, you're the perfect height for me to administer the stunner. And if not, your father will help me and we will administer a beating. Okay, let's see. 20-year-old dynasty that has been penalized 3 times for getting caught cheating. No other dynasty has been caught 3 times. You see, New England sets all kinds of records. What is up, Owen? My friend Owen Barrelra is in the room. I think I said that right. Owen, it's good to see you. That's why I waited to start the draft. I wasn't going to start the draft until you got here. Nick's parents could make you sugar cookies. They were always the better cooks. Their family ran a restaurant. Like, I grew up working in a pizzeria restaurant in Brooklyn my whole life, and then they took it to Staten Island. But they could make you the cookies because Nick's mom makes the best cookies. Like Christmas every year, I used to just wait for her to show up with that big tray of cookies. So you're asking the wrong person. I don't bake. I make good Italian food. I make a great medium rare steak, but I don't bake cookies. That's not my thing. Anyway, we're going to do this mock draft. And what I wanted to say before is I did for Garrett yesterday. Garrett Ham was here, and he wanted to take a wide receiver. So I manipulated it, and I did a draft where we get to take a wide receiver, and we took Treylon Burks. And we specifically made it that kind of draft. But we're not going to do that this time. We're going to pretend it's real. So we're not going to go with these bullshit player ratings that PFN uses. We're not going to take advantage of the fact that we could wait to the third round to get Trey McBride because we know that's bullshit. We're going to take the guys that we want in the spot that we believe that they would go, because Joe Douglas is not looking at this rating system. So when he decides he wants a player, he doesn't have the luxury of seeing that they're ranked 30 spots below and knows that there's no way a computer algorithm is going to pick that guy, right? So we're not going to play the electronic computer board. We're going to play real life. And a lot of the players that we love, trust me, the other teams are looking at, and the other teams love. So let's share screen so you can see my screen. And oh, wait a second, but you can't see me anymore. So what are we going to do? No, wait a second. But it needs to be the big one. There we go. All right, you still got to see me. Come on. Okay, can you make me raviolis? Not homemade, but I know where to buy the best ravioli. It was actually about very close to where Nicholas Valzone grew up. There was the pasta place. You always know pasta is good when it's fresh made, quick freezed, frozen, and stored in these blue pastry boxes, like these cardboard thin white boxes with blue writing on it. That's when you know you're dealing with real Brooklyn raviolis. Okay, and I only do beef ravioli, not cheese. Okay. Can you make me raviolis? This guy never stops. I can make you raviolis, but I'm not putting in a soup. Anyway, let's get this going. I selected the Jets, 7 rounds, fast speed, let's draft. It's always going to be somebody that joins the chat late and gets all upset, and I have to give them all kinds of updates on what's going on. Okay, so right away, the Giants are offering us pick 5 and their second rounder next year to swap with us and go to 4, and we go to 5. Now, yesterday, we thought that they were going to take Evan Neal, and we thought that might be a bad idea. But then we found out that what the Giants want is they want George Kalafkas or whatever. They want the freak Greek. I don't believe in taking him over Ajabo. Like, I don't believe that George Karlaftis is a value at this point. I think that like if you're going to take him, you're just as good with Ajabo, and you could wait until the 10th pick, or you could trade down a little and grab him. So I have no problem doing this trade. I don't know why everybody wants to take Evan Neal so bad. Like, I don't get it. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's what Joe Douglas is after. Okay, so the Giants did take the Greek freak. Evan Neal is on the board. But here's the thing. Evan Neal is on the board. Icky's on the board. Kenyon Green is on the board. There's a million guys we could stick at guard. A million guys. So for me, it doesn't make any sense to pick right now when someone's going to offer us a haul, right? So do we trade down to 14? We get 45, 116, and a second from Baltimore. Do we deal with the Bills who want to give us 25, 57, 89, a second and a third? No. Do we deal with Cleveland, who wants to give us 13, 44, and a third? I think I like 14, a 45th, and a 116th, and a second. I like that a lot better. I'm taking the Baltimore trade. Okay? Boom. If there's no Thibodeau, and there's no Hutchinson, and there's no Hamilton, there's nothing left for me to think about. Okay? Nothing. Dallas wants us to trade down to 24, 56, and 88. Tampa, 27, no. Buffalo. I'm going to reject these. I already did my trade. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take – who you're saying to take? You want to take – Eric is saying no way to the Bills. Take Ike. Yeah, I think the priority though first is to lock up Ajabo. I'm on the we need a defensive pass rusher. I'm not 100% sure Carl Lawson is going to recover and be the same that we were hoping he was going to be. And that was just hoping. So I say we got to get some help on edge. And I like Ajabo. I think he's as solid a pick as George is. I'm not going to do these picks. Reject. Now I will take Icky. How about that? Now we take Icky. We lock up right guard. Boom. Okay. We got our right guard locked up. You're saying that Jobo doesn't fit with what we do. I don't know about that. It says that he could put his hands in the dirt, dude. So I don't know why you're against the Jobo. I don't get it. 43 and pick 111 from Atlanta. That's what they're offering to trade down 8. Dallas is saying trade down to 56 and take a second and a fourth. I could see JD doing that. I could see him doing that because we have other picks coming up right now anyway. Yeah. But I like 43 and 111, 56, and we get a second and a fourth. It's a much better deal to go down to 56. Much better deal. You guys think I'm nuts, but you got to see how this turns out. I'm taking the trade with Dallas. All right, here we go. We're not trading with Buffalo. We're not trading with Pittsburgh. I know that Nicholas's cousin Charlie would be very happy and be screaming, trade with Pittsburgh. No, I'm not trading with you, Pittsburgh. Okay, what are you saying, Nick? What is Big Nick saying? Nick is the most impactful defensive position. Yeah, I know. And people don't understand. Like, even if Carl Lawson comes back and he's amazing, great. Let's get an opposite guy on the opposite side. Let's dominate. Let's sack people three to 5 times a game. Let's be one of the top teams in getting to the quarterback. Like, why is that a bad thing? Wins games, right? So anyway, it's 38. We got a right guard. We got some defensive pressure. We need a tight end. We need a linebacker. We need a safety. We have needs. We have to look and see who is the best value right now on the board to meet those needs. Okay? So here's the thing. They say Trey McBride is 55, and I say bullshit. Like, I think we're lucky if McBride is there at 38. Like, I'm like saying it's a miracle that he's even there. If you don't know about Trey McBride, watch the tape. Okay? He's I believe year one, middle of the road, middle of the league tight ends. His first year is rookie year because it's a rookie. But he's going to be much better than what we had last year. And he's going to be much better for Zach. Right? He's a middle of the road linebacker, but he's going to make some big catches. He'll have a couple of big games. He's going to be a reliable target. And he's going to shine and show flashes. And then the year after that, years 2, year 3, look out. Because I think he'll end up in the top 5 in the NFL. That's my opinion. So I'm taking Trey McBride right here and ending this nightmare of having no tight ends. Okay? 45. I think we need defense right now. So I'm not trading with Buffalo, man. These guys don't understand. I don't deal with the enemy. All right. So let's go to the top. Let's see if we have a linebacker or when's my next pick? So I gotta factor that in. We go at 56. There's a lot of linebackers. Let's see how far down are the linebackers. Did we miss out? Are we doomed? We're doomed. No, we got Brandon Smith. Asamoah's still down there. Channing Tindall. There's a bunch of guys I like. A bunch of good tight ends. Jacoby McLean, Leo Chanel. There's like tons of guys in the linebacker world. We do not have to take a linebacker right now if we don't want to. But we got that lined up. I don't know. Maybe we take Jahan Johnson. Jahan Johnson from Penn State, wide receiver. We could go Roger McCreary, take a solid cornerback. That's also an important position. I like Eccles, but it would be really cool to just like freaking stack that position. Because if Eccles doesn't make any progression, then he's a bench player. So you're saying, why would I take? I see what you're saying. Did I not? Okay, I forgot about right guard, right? We didn't take an offensive line. Oh no, we took Icky. We took Icky, man. We got right guard taken care of. I'm not going double offensive line that early. No way. No way. I'm not using 2 of the top 4 picks on the offensive line. 1 pick is a big enough investment for us. Yeah, wide receiver would be cool, right? I mean, he's sitting right there. This is our guy right here, Jahan Johnson. Or does he not fit our system, Jessica? Okay, you're saying it. So, look, all the reports on him is good. What I like about him is the thing I like best about him is Dotson is that they talk about his route running, and I think that's really important in a West Coast offense. We already have McBride, dude. Are you guys like way behind me, or did you sleep on that? We got McBride. We're good. We're good. I'm gonna go Dotson. You know why I think this is realistic though, as far as that we haven't taken the defense yet, is that we've seen Joe Douglas wait to late rounds and get value like from secondary positions. We've seen him do it. He's small. Okay. Always a criticism. 145 go to 94. 56 goes down to 61. I'm gonna hide that for now. Okay, so Zion Johnson's on the board. If we wanted to now take another offensive lineman, Roger McCreary is still on the board. I don't think that's realistic. Kyler Gordon is also still on the board. So there's 2 cornerbacks still on the board. So I think one of them will be left if we take the trade, if we want to go cornerback. And I'm just as happy with McCreary or Kyler Gordon. I think they have equal chance to be like impact cornerbacks. So we could sign a big body, Jets gang. We could sign a big body with like free agency. We could sign a big body kind of wide receiver to go with Corey Davis, and then we can have Elijah Moore and Dotson and have 2 quick guys. Remember, like think of the Niners, like think of the West Coast offense. You can't have too many explosive guys, right? That you can use in multiple ways. Yeah, I know about Eric out of Texas Tech. That's true too, but I don't think that JD's going to wait for him. I think that would be a later round pick, like if he wants to double up. Unless wide receiver, the board doesn't make sense. I don't think he's going to wait for a guy like that. I don't think he's going to reach either. So we'll see how it plays out if we're going to end up with him. But don't worry, Rusty sold me on him. I like him. So if I'm going to take a cornerback, I'm going to consider this trade because we could turn our 145 into a 94 and get that pick into the top 100. I think that's great. We only go down 5 spots, and we can still grab a cornerback. And if both quarterbacks go, we have other needs, we'll just attack something else. So I'm being such a bastard. I swear we're going to do another draft, and I'll let you guys do it. I keep forgetting that. Green Bean's always giving me a hard time because you don't let them choose anything, dude. They're just watching you draft. Oh, he likes to take injured players. You're right. I maybe he goes if one of them slips, Mechie or Pickens. Like if one of the ACL guys truly do slip far down, maybe he takes one of those wide receivers. Who knows? Houston wants the trade. Nope, I think we went far enough. McCreary and Gordon are still there, but like we're running out of room. Like if we do one of these trades, we're going to lose both of them. So I'm going to say no. I think it's really crazy that we're in the second round at 61 and we're choosing between Roger McCreary and Kyler Gordon. And if that happens in real life, I'm going to be very happy. I know you're saying build the wall. I could take who could I take? I could take Lycidas Smith from Virginia Tech and start building that wall. Maybe next pick, man. Let's see. What do we got after 61? 69, right? Yeah, we got a pick coming up. Maybe we'll grab an offensive lineman then. I think we got to grab another corner. You know, I think that I'm going to take Kyler Gordon. Boom. There are people that have Kyler Gordon going in the first round, by the way. So if we got Kyler Gordon here, that's absolutely off the charts. Jacksonville wants us to trade back 1. And they'll give us their 4th round for our 167. Here's why I don't like this trade offer. Because I think that 1 that they want to trade down is Ed Ingram, who's the top guy on the board right now. And but Alec Lindstrom, guys. Alex Lindstrom is on the board. It's now or never on a center. And it's perfect because he's a guy that could sit for a year. Like if we end up retaining McGovern, he's like the perfect guy to like that could be a depth guy. If somebody gets hurt, guard goes down, you move McGovern over if you wanted to. You have that option. You can move Lindstrom in. If McGovern is sucking it up, you could put in Lindstrom. A lot of flexibility, and then he's the center of the future. I think that's more important than a guard right now because we took Icky. We got those spots locked up. And if we take Alec Lindstrom, we get that depth because McGovern has that versatility. So I'm going to reject this. And we're just going to grab. Oh, it's hard to grab him, though, because there's also Brandon Smith at Penn State. And we haven't taken a linebacker yet. Oh. Hold on. Let me do it for Nick, if Nick is still watching. Oh. I'm one pick short. Okay, guys, I'll let you decide. Should I go linebacker Brandon Smith? Or should I go center Alec Lindstrom from Boston College? Okay, so tell me, C for center, LB for linebacker. That makes no sense. CB. No. No, it makes sense. Oh, technically it's OC. So you can say OC for center and LB for linebacker. Yeah. Did he just write "nyah"? I said "nyah" before you even put it in the chat, Nick. It's hysterical. The next pick is 94. There's no way Lindstrom's there. I just want to say that. But there'll be some linebackers there. There'll be some linebackers. Jess Gang says linebacker. I mean, but Brandon Smith comes from Linebacker University, Penn State. Nicholas is saying, I didn't know he's going to go, Dad. He's going to go, Dad, Uncle Weck knows about football. I didn't know he knows so much. How does fucking Uncle Weck know all about this football? Pop, how does he know all this fucking shit? And Jack is saying, your Uncle Weck is a Renaissance man. He's the Weck. He knows many things. Wise the Weck is. I see linebacker. I'd rather draft an edge and corner at the top 3 rounds than safety and linebacker. We did that. We can get them in free agency and late draft. So that's what we did, Eric. Right? We kind of did that. We drafted an edge already, and we didn't do linebacker, but we got a cornerback. That's pretty good. Would rather draft edge and corner. Well, I did that. I got us our edge and our corner. We need a linebacker more than center. That's true. There's no arguing that. It's a bigger need. The question really is when we pick our next pick at 94, will there be a linebacker where the difference between that linebacker and Brandon Smith is not as big as the difference between taking Lindstrom and what center would be available? You get my drift? It's about like difference. It's like the gap in quality. What's the bigger drop? I'm gonna say Brandon Smith though, because I told you I'd let you guys decide. And Jets Gang is the one that's chiming in. So 94. Green Bay wants to give us 105 and 170. I think there's still some quality guys right here on the board that makes us say no. Seattle wants us to go down to 106. It's always tempting to fleece Seattle again, but they're not really giving us an opportunity to fleece them. I don't think we should take these trades. I think we need to start taking our guys now. Let's look at where we are. Okay, let's take an inventory of what we have. We have pick number 94, and there are some guys on the board that still stand out. For one, there's Eric Zukamna from Texas Tech, the wide receiver. We need a big, tall wide receiver. We did not address that when we took Dotson. We just took more quality in the wide receiver room. It wouldn't kill us to have a running back, and Zonovan Knight from NC State is there. He's a dart throw, though. I don't know that he's definitely going to be a good NFL running back, but he is there. And then we'd have to go fishing for safety. We'd have to kind of sink down if we were thinking about a safety. Cade Otton's a good tight end, but there's a lot of good tight ends in this part of the draft. Yeah, the problem is every time I look at centers at this part of the draft, Gitmo, after Lindstrom, because the other guy, Patterson, pulled out, the draft has become very thin. So Cameron Jurgens from Nebraska. Now, I mean, he's from Nebraska, so you know he's got, and the BYU center is there, by the way, MP. And he's been really good, but isn't he like a 25-year-old? Like, I thought all the centers from BYU were like 25, and they're like men playing with kids. So they always look better, and then they turn out to suck. So I'm not sure. Cameron Jurgens. See if there's any info on him. Nope. We got nothing on him. I know nothing about him. Haven't looked at his tape, so I can't say a word about him. So it's just, I don't know if I'm ready for like a crapshoot pick. Plus, there's no value there. He's the 138th ranked guy. So we could, and I don't know that he's going to, in real life, would be ranked higher than that. So, I mean, I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of the system by waiting on him. Like, we can get him, Bob. We can get him in like 2 picks from now. So it's kind of silly maybe to grab him now. Brian Ismoa is still there if we want to double up on linebacker. Channing Tindall is still there if we want to double up on linebackers. There's a lot of good linebackers here still on the board. I don't think we need a running back. I think a running back would be nice. You know what I mean? If we increase our draft capital, I think a running back would be nice, like a solid RB2, or like have that two-faced attack with Carter and like some big powerhouse running back. But I don't think it's like a need. Like, I don't think it's a hole. It's not a hole on the team. Like, we could bring back Coleman for another year. I don't know why we don't like Perrine, but whatever. They kind of like Austin Walter. He showed some explosiveness. Yeah, safety is the other thing to consider. Yusuf Corker or Smoke Monday. Quentin Lake, I like all 3 of those guys. Isaiah Polomao is there. But again, these are guys we can get a little later. Like, one of them will be available next pick. So I like Corker a lot. I think he's good. I like Smoke Monday because of his name. Nicholas doesn't smoke Monday. Nicholas smokes Saturday. So don't tell his dad. I'm just kidding, Nick. Nick would get a beating if he smoked. Quentin Lake. That's when you quit the lake because you don't like the dirty water. Those are the 3 guys. And then the next tier, there's the dart throw of Polomao, who every Jet fan seems to be in love with, except Gitmo Bob. Gitmo Bob is not in love with Polomao. He thinks we're all being silly. And we only like him because he's like the nephew of a great safety. And that makes no sense. And he's right. It's kind of silly. So what do we do, guys? Nobody's saying anything. I think we can wait on those 2 positions. It's a tough decision, man. It's kind of weird. I think I'm going to take Eric Azukanma. That's right. I'm going to double up on tight end. I'm wide receiver. We need wide receivers. Okay. Nobody else was on the board. Oh, did Rucker just go? Oh, you know who's there now? Jeffrey Gunter's on top of the board. We lost Ismoa, Tyndall. Forget about doubling up. Zonovan Knight is gone. Did Jeremy Ruckert go? Let me see. No, Jeremy Ruckert is still there if we want to double up on tight ends. Jeffrey Gunter, if we want to take another shot at edge, throw another dart, is still on the board. Or maybe it's time to grab that safety. Because Yusuf Corker is pretty high up on the board now, so he's good value. Thayer Munford is there, the offensive guard from Ohio State, but we've already taken the offensive line. Really love Ruckert, guys. We have a couple of picks here, though, by the way. I should say, just so you know our situation, we have 108, 114, and 116. So we've got a few picks. So we can get more than one. We're not gonna like there. We can take, for example, Gunter right now, right? Or we could take Yusuf Corker at safety, or we could take Ruckert and still get Yusuf Corker at safety. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to double up. If Rusty was here, he'd be yelling at me, take Gunter, take Gunter. I would love to get Gunter, Ruckert, and Corker. And they're all 3 lined up like that. I wonder if we can make that happen. Okay. I'm going to take Corker first because we need a safety the most. Okay. Gunter's still there and Ruckert's still there. Now I'm going to take Ruckert, tight end, because his name is Jeremy. And Gunter is still there. We get all 3 of them. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. I am the master. I am the master. Ruckert is going to be a stud because his first name is Jeremy. We will call him the Weck. Jeremy the Weck Ruckert. Raiders want us to trade down one spot, and they'll give us 217 for our 6th round next year. No, I'm not doing that. Although if we take that 217 now, that could be our kicker. We could take a kicker. But we could take a kicker right now. Oh, no, we're not taking a kicker right now, though. Oh, shit. I don't know who they want to take. Oh, they probably want to take Isaiah Polamayo. I'm going to rejection. So we have a decision to make. We're picking between two guys. And you typed the same. You probably typed that before I even said it. You probably typed it before I even said it. I know it. Just like your father, we think the same. Everybody from Brooklyn thinks the same. We have a decision to make. Do we take Isaiah Polamayo, nephew of the great Troy Pamalamalamalalo, or do we take Hassan Haskins, running back from Michigan, who a lot of us love? Okay, I'm going to let you guys decide. Do we go for the safety of the running back? Safety of the running back. Where are you, Jets gang? Where are you, Gitmo? What do we take? Gitmo, you want to double up on safety? Now's your opportunity. Or would you rather take a running back? Because we haven't taken a running back. So we get a young kid in the room. Since we don't seem very fond of pee-rhyme. Maybe it makes people want to pee. You know, you say pee-rhyme enough, it makes you need to go to the bathroom. Running back, Pelomeo, running back. It's 2-1. It's 2-1, and Gitmo's not like you, Braden. Gitmo lowers my grade if I don't listen to him. Whereas Braden, you can't pretend that you do. You're a nice guy from New Zealand. You don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't lower my grade over it. Gitmo would. And by the way, you're from New Zealand, Braden, and one day when I go there, we're going to meet up, and we're going for dub pies, right? You're going to take me to the best place to get those little dub pies, those little meat pies? Because there was a place with these people from New Zealand in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, and they had these dub pies, and they were like the greatest thing in the world. And they even did it for breakfast where you can get eggs and sausage. And they were like ridiculously good. Let's see. So let's see. I'm going to take the running back. Where is he? Hassan Haskins. A beating. Okay. And hell yeah. I know. I'm telling you, we're definitely going to do that, man. I'm going for dub pies, dude. I am such a foodie. And I used to think it was only Australia. And then this place, Dub Pies, opened up in Brooklyn. And then there's one in the Village. I think that might still be open near Bleecker Street. And it's they were like from New Zealand, and everybody was saying that like people who had traveled there, like from New Zealand, like people from New Zealand that were tourists in New York, would write it up and say that it was very authentic, like it was like going into a place in New Zealand. So that was really exciting. When I'm in New York, I want a Knish. Oh yeah, we'll get you a Knish, man. We'll tell you exactly where to go. If I'm not in New York at the same time as you, if this whole pandemic thing is over and I can be in New York when you're there, I definitely will take you myself. Otherwise, we'll just tell you where to go. You got enough people in this chat and Green Beans chat and all these chats that are from New York that will tell you all the places you can go and get your Knish. Don't worry about that. And plus, there are different types of Knishes. So, what are you saying, Nick? Hopefully, they get Marcus Williams in free agency and they don't have to worry too much about safety in the draft. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, one of the things that I do, because this is mock draft 13, sometimes we go with a theme in the draft where we name 3 positions that the Jets have addressed in free agency. So in the beginning, like we go in and we say, okay, let's pick 3 positions. And those are the 3 positions we pretend that we signed in free agency. So we got like a good guy like Marcus Williams, and we pretend that maybe we got Allen Robinson at wide receiver, and like a really good linebacker. Like we'll just pick 3 positions, and then we do the draft with that mindset. And we do the draft like thinking like that. So let's look back. Let's recap the draft. A beating. We got David Ajabo, who could be our answer at edge opposite Lawson. We have Ikem Ikwano, which would be an amazing pickup at 14. I mean, there are people, Frankie from Flatbush, who says they would take Equana with the number 4 pick and be perfectly happy with it. Trey McBride, stud tight end. Jahan Johnson, wide receiver. That might be my bad pick, though, now that I think about it, because I don't know if we got Eric later. I don't know if we would need that. Kyler Gordon was a huge pickup. So we ended up, we rebound strong because we get Kyler Gordon at quarterback. Amazing value for that part of the draft. We get Brandon Smith at linebacker. How do you argue with that? Penn State University. That's where you want to take a linebacker from. Eric Uzukana, his tape looks awesome. He's your big receiver. He's your contested catch guy. He's the guy you could throw into the corner of the end zone on a post that'll jump up and get it. He's our Charlie Falzone, okay? He's our Charlie Falzone. Nick, you got to tell Charlie I talk about him on my stream, so he's got to subscribe and he's got to come in because I'm talking about him in relation to football. Yep, that's our Charlie Falzone right there. So after that, we get Yusuf Corker from Kentucky. He's a pretty high-valued safety. I think I think he starts for us. I do. I think he'd make the starting lineup, and he's, you know what I mean? These are the kind of guys we can pick up. We don't have to use super high picks that Saleh loves to work with. And it's not that low of a pick, by the way. We're all spoiled because we don't have any 6-7 picks, so we think these are our back-end picks. But 108 is like an early 4th round. We got Michael Carter with a similar pick. So this is like Michael Carter territory, the running back. So 108, right? 108 is literally the beginning of the 4th round. So and he went like he was on the board like to go at around that time. So that's good value. That's okay value. Then we get Jeremy Ruckert. So not only do we have Trey McBride, we have Jeremy Ruckert. So we get 2 freaking linebackers, and that could right away. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe we just keep Yabo and we go youth. Maybe Yabo is special teams. We hold on to one guy like Griffin, or Kraft, like one of those 2 guys, just to have a veteran. But I don't even care if we do or we don't. I'm not expecting a Super Bowl next year anyway. I don't care if we develop some guys on the way to through our rebuild. But I do want Zach Wilson to have a reliable tight end. Jeffrey Gunter is, a lot of people don't know a lot about Jeffrey Gunter. I recommend you go onto YouTube and search Coastal Carolina, every defensive play against any team in the past year. And you keep your eye, I believe he's 94. Keep your eye on Gunter. He wins man-to-man. He wins his matchups. It feels like he wins every time. I like him. He's my diamond in the rough. And Hassan Haskins, I don't know. I'll never understand why he's so lowly regarded anyway. I don't care what his numbers are or stats. Watch him play. He's playing in the Big Ten. He's playing against elite competition. He's a great running back, so I don't get it. Like, I like him. And not only do we add all this talent, here's the exciting part. We've got 3 second-round picks next year on top of ours, so that would be 4 second-round picks next year. Think about it. You could take 2 of them and trade up for a first-round pick and late first round, and next year have 2 first-rounders and still have 2 second-rounders and 2 fourth-rounders. And you know Joe Douglas loves that shit, right? I mean, that's the shit he loves. That's his jam. So let me come back, get my ugly mug bring my ugly mug back. I got the same shirt on that I wore yesterday, by the way, because it's Saturday and I don't care. I slept halfway through the day, went to that Chinese restaurant, brought my dog to the vet, came home, laid around, watched Star Wars, watched some football, and got online. That was my day. That's what I like. When I'm exhausted from work after a week, I like to do absolutely nothing. Nothing. And if he doesn't comply, chokeslam. Yes. Charlie Falzone needs a chokeslam. But what we really need to do is you, me, and Jack Jr. need to do a 3-way. Like, with all 3 of our hands, we combine them. And we grab Uncle Steve and we give him the power chokeslam. And we do it on a table. And we put him to a table. Then we all drop elbows on him. And we pin him. And then we stick our hand in his pocket and pull out his wad of cash that we know he carries. And we run away with his cash and buy dinner. Okay. Jeremy, do you got good dance moves? I don't, but I do the robot. That's my robot. That's my dance move. Okay. A-B team. Anyway, do we want to do another draft where you guys decide who we pick? Let me know, yes or no in the chat. Or do we want to bring J. Cole in and let him do the chat? Are we ready, J. Cole? Do you want to come in and do the chat? Do you want to come in and do the draft, J. Cole? I'll wait for him. Jeremy, all mocks start as on a C. And you go down from there. This draft, you didn't add an impact linebacker or safety, which you could have gotten. You could have drafted Zion in the second. I give this one a C minus. Okay. I got you. I got the edge, though, didn't I? I doubled up on edge. I thought that would save me, Gitmo. I thought the double up on edge would at least get me back to C with you. But I know the draft that you like, Gitmo. Like the one because I've done it. You like the draft where I go Ajabo or we get one of the two edges. If we get one of the two edges, I get Dean or Lloyd at linebacker. Then I get like Brisker in the second round. I get Zion Johnson on guard. I'm saying your A draft. I know what your A draft is. And then we get a good safety with the next pick after that. Or we did a trade down and got two picks, so we get the McBride or we get Wademeyer. I know your A draft, dude. I know exactly what you want me to do. And you know that's what I kind of prefer doing. But I got to mix it up. Otherwise, why would we have all these drafts? Your phone is on 1%. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it a different day, buddy. You'll get your chance. And one day I'll bring Nick on if Nick wants to come on. All the Falzone boys are good-looking kids. They're the best-looking family in the world. So you guys will love looking at him. He's a good-looking guy. You'll see what a good-looking guy looks like. He's a good-looking young man. You're the man, Uncle Weck. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah. All right. Good night, Nick. Love you, kid. I was his first uncle. Like, forget his Uncle Dave. Nah, I was his uncle. Uncle Weck. That's who he loved. Uncle Weck. Dad, is Uncle Weck coming? Is Uncle Weck going to give me a choke slam? Why is Uncle Weck making fun of me? Because I have this breathing machine and I have to put on my mouth every night that makes noise. Okay. I have no clue on Gunter, who faced inferior competition. Yeah, well, he's definitely, that's why he's where he is in the draft. And like, he definitely faced inferior competition. But we all know that that's not evidence that you're not good, right? That means there's no evidence that you are good. So he's a mystery. He could be a great, pleasant surprise, or he could be a bust. I call him a dart throw. But I think that it's good to throw darts in important positions. Like if you throw a dart on edge, at least if you hit, it's like so much more valuable, right? Like what could be more valuable than hitting on an edge in the 4th or 5th round, like on the 3rd or 4th round or 4th round, I think it was that we took him. I just think it would be an incredible thing if we hit. But they're going to look at him in the combines, right? They'll look at his strength. Is he like powerful enough? Is he fast enough? Is he going to be able to compete at that level? I'm just saying he used to kick the shit out of Zach, and BYU was a top 20 team, and Coastal Carolina was a top 20 team. They were two Titans. They were both in the top 15 when they played, battling for who's going to try to get into the top 10. And he kicked the shit out of Zach, man. Watch the 2020 BYU Coastal Carolina game and check out how he did. So I know that's one game. So that's why we're going to look at him in the combines and everything else. And that's why I'm saying he's a dart, like throwing a dart. Totally, acknowledge that we're throwing a dart at a dartboard and hoping it hits. But I kind of feel like everything after the 3rd round is doing that. Even first rounders, we know bust. Second rounders bust. I mean, we want Zion Johnson, and we believe he's going to be good, but we don't know 100% that Zion Johnson's going to be good, right? I mean, because we've been through this before. We know that nobody's a short thing. We've seen, people we thought were a short thing, not pan out. Let's see. I'd like Jesse Lucida if he was available in the 5th. Oh, I don't know him, Braden. Braden, I'm gonna have to look him up. Jesse Lukita, if he was available on the 5th. I gotta look him up. I don't know. I trust whatever JD does. Sorry. I need some water is what I need. Anyway, it sounded like you wanted another draft, but we haven't. Why don't we do a quick one? Like I'm going to do Gitmo Bob's draft. Okay, I'm going to do the Gitmo Bob draft, and Gitmo, you give me the grade and see if I have you figured out. Okay, so this is just for you, Gitmo, before it gets too late there and you have to go. I'm going to do a really quick Gitmo draft just to show you I know how. Just to show you I can. Who knows who knows their chat and their people better than me? Right? How many of us could sit there and say, I know exactly what this person wants? I'm going to do it for Gitmo right now. Come on, give me an edge. Give me an edge. Give me an edge. Give me an edge. They never slip anymore. God damn it. They never slip. Okay, one trade offer. Okay. Accept this. Oh, Kyle Hamilton is there. But Gitmo doesn't like Kyle Hamilton. Let's trade it then. Okay. This is for Gitmo. Oh, sorry, I'm not telling you what's going on. I'll get back to you guys in a second. I'm just trying to manipulate this draft. Okay. So I did some trades. Okay, let's reject that. I did some trades, and now here we go. So I'm taking Ajabo because all the other 3 edges are gone. Ajabo's the only guy left on the board for a first-round edge. Boom. Not my fault, Gitmo. Taking the best guy that's there, right? So you can't be mad at me. Okay, so we have Ajabo. I get the 18th pick. I traded down on that, okay? I'm not going to take Iguano, even though it's the best value in the world. I'm going to piss everybody in the world off, but I'm making Gitmo happy right now. I'm going to take Nakobe Dean. Boom, linebacker. Okay, so now I got edge. I got linebacker. I am then going to take... There is no safety. There is no safety on the board, but there is Zion Johnson. Let's look at the other trade offer. 43. I go at 38. I can get them both. Okay, I'm going to accept that. Okay, I'm going to reject that. Okay, now I'm going to take Penn State. Depends on. No, I'm taking Zion Johnson right now. Boom. Okay, so let's look at what we have. We have David Ajabo, Nakobe Dean. We addressed defense. Zion Johnson on the offensive line. We still have picks 43, 45, and 49. So we got gold mine picks coming up. I'm going to take... Where the hell are the safeties? There are just no safeties. There's just no safeties, man. It's not my fault. They just don't exist. The next safety on the board is Leslie O'Neal or something like that. It's ridiculous. There's no value in safety here. There's Jalen Petra, but he's like a long way away. So I can't take them now. You can't reach like that. You just can't do it. There's wide receiver David Bell. You want a big target? There's your big target. David Bell. Drake Jackson, edge. Isaiah Spiller, best running back on the board. Breece Hall, also regarded very highly running back. There's just no value right now at safety right now at all. So it just cannot be, I cannot justify it. Like, how do I sit there and take a safety right now when there's nobody that's even ranked in the top 60 at safety left on the board? And there was no chance to address it. The last safety was picked, at 29 in the first round. That was the last safety, and there's no one left right now on this part of the board. Tight end. Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm already justifying why I'm taking McBride here. And we get a pick right away. We get to pick again. The Bengals want to trade down to 62. They'll give us 93 for 6 next year. The Colts want us to go down to 47. They'll let us trade our 162 up for 119. I'll do that because there's no one on top of the board for us anyway, except Colts wants to go down to 82. I'm not doing that. Miami wants us to go down 3 spots to 50. That's actually not a bad thing for us to do, but I'm not going to. Reject. Let's look at what we addressed. We edged, linebacker, guard, tight end. We still need a safety. We're still reaching if we take a safety now. There's just still no one in sight, which means we can get one later. The board has Isaiah Spiller, running back, still there. There's a great tackle there, Nicholas Petit-Frere. There's Drake Johnson, edge. There's Isaiah Likely. We already took a tight end. There's Breece Hall. There's Sam Williams, the edge. There's Sean Ryan, the offensive tackle. There's Jahan Johnson, wide receiver that we took before. There's Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver that we took. There's Chad Muma, if you want to double up on tight ends. Linebacker. There's Majai Sanders, if you want to double up on edge. There's Philandrian Mathis, if you want to grab a defensive tackle, interior lineman, which is not a bad move. You're saying, is it Ryan the tackle? Yeah, he's there. Oh, no. I don't know which Ryan you're talking about. I don't see Ryan the tackle. Are you talking about offensive tackle or defensive tackle? What would Bob want to do now? We got our tight end, Bob. What would you want to do now? What would you possibly want? You got your linebacker, you got your tight end, you got your guard, you got your edge. You want a safety. I know that. I get it. If we go to safety right now, let's go to defense. Let's go to safety. The next guy on the board is Jalen Peter at 77. We can get him at 69 or the 76th pick. We got 2 picks to get him. Also, Yusuf Corker is there. Verone McKinley is there. Smoke Monday is there. Quentin Lake. There's a lot of good safeties. These are all NFL's possibilities, like starting possibilities. One more slumber. That's right. Our friend Peo Time is here. You missed it, Peo. I was talking about a San Francisco 49er fan on Facebook that I've been friends with. I used to do comedy with him. And do you know what he's doing right now while you are all excited about this game? And you saw my friend yesterday is excited about the game, nervous. He's on Facebook saying the Niners are going to lose and they need to get rid of this fraud Shanahan. He's garbage, and the Niners have a higher standard. That's how he's spending his time. That's the kind of football fan he is. Kyler Gordon. Yeah, I would love to take Kyler Gordon right now. But our friend Bob is going to give me this horrible grade if I take him now. So I can't take him. I'll still be able to grab him later. See, I think we should take a wide receiver, personally, because we didn't say we're assuming we're drafting anybody. And if we don't draft anybody, we need a freaking wide receiver. I mean, free agency, I'm saying. If we don't do free agency, that's a hot take. Yeah, they should fire. A hot take. I'm just going to take the wide receiver because I'm going to get the safety. I'm going to get the best safety I could have gotten. Like, literally, there was no safety between the safety I'm going to end up getting and the 29th pick in the draft. There was no safety. So I took the best wide receiver on the board, Bob. I took Dotson from Penn State. Miami wants to trade down 1 and give us a 7th. Colts wants to trade down to 82 and give us a 2nd next year. I'm going to do the Miami trade because why not? The Rams. Every time Peo comes, the Rams want to throw away their draft picks. They want to throw away 100, their 2nd and 3rd round next year. The Colts want us to trade down to 82. I don't think we trade now that far down with either team. I think we need quality players. We need good players. I'm going to do something I think. Oh, Ryan the tackle is there, my friend. Sean Ryan. The problem is that we took a guard. Why do we want Ryan? Like, he's going to have to sit on the bench. Do we want to take a guy that's going to have to sit on the bench this time with the number 50 pick in the draft when we could take Chad Muma at linebacker and double up on linebacker? To me, that's like, oh, did I take him back? I took him. Sorry, guys. Doesn't matter. We got 58 anyway. No, we're not picking. We're not doing picks. Okay. So, where are we, guys? Boom. We got David Ajabo at edge, N'Kobe Dean at linebacker, Zion Johnson at guard, Trey McBride at tight end, Dotson at wide receiver, Chad Muma at linebacker. So we picked 2 linebackers up. Oh, shit, I forgot about safety. Okay, so now I think it's time that we get our safety at 58 and not take a risk because Bob will kill me if he's gone. So we're going to go for Jalen Petra. I want to say that he's the highest ranked safety after the safety that was already picked at 29 in the first round. So we had no ability to get a safety before that. I am taking the safety, the highest rank rated safety that we could have taken, but instead of wasting a second or third round pick, well, maybe this is still, this is still the third round. We're using a third round pick on him. Boom. Actually, that was a late second round pick. So I went late second round for safety. Can't argue with that. Rams are trading machines. Yeah, they love to trade. Pick 69. Down to 83. I don't think we want to do that. Carolina down to 105. Let me look at the first one again. Down to 82. We get the third next year. We give them our 145 this year. Nah. Okay, what are we going to do now? Let's play the board. Isaiah Likely is still up there, tight end. I'm not a big fan of Isaiah Likely, but we're at the 69th pick of the draft, and he's the 45th ranked player and like a top 3 ranked tight end that for some reason no Jet fan likes. So I'm not really sure. Ed Ingram, if we wanted another guard. Kyron Williams, if we wanted a running back, Notre Dame. So we can take a high-level running back here. We could take our third linebacker and take Brandon Smith. Oh, we could take our center. Let's take our center. Let's just grab Lindstrom before he's gone. We learned from the last draft, Lindstrom doesn't last very long. Trade down to 79 and get your 5th. Okay, I'll trade down 3 spots. I don't give a shit. Okay. Now, let's look at our haul so far. We got an edge, a linebacker, a guard, a tight end, a wide receiver, another linebacker, a safety, a center. Do we go for another tight end now? Do we go for another wide receiver? Or do we finally give it and take a running back? We have an opportunity to get Kyron Williams from Notre Dame. High value pick. We're at 79. He's the 63rd ranked player. And a lot of people have him ranked in the top. Some have him ranked in the top 50. Some have him ranked in the top 80. Depends on where you look. But we can grab a running back right now. It's like watching the Royal Rumble. Everybody say hello to Nick Shine. You all remember. What's up, you handsome son of a bitch? Nick Shine, who was here on Wednesday, did an amazing job. Everybody, I know you all loved them in the chat. So this is my second draft of the night, and I'm doing it for my friend Gitmo Bob. He gave me a C- on my last draft. So this is a draft I'm trying to design for Gitmo to make him happy and to win his approval. And I'm trying to prove that I know him well. Now, this is going to be a very unpopular pick, but I know Nick Shine. I don't know how Gitmo Bob's going to feel about it, but I know that Nick Shine will support me on this. A position that we haven't addressed that no fan seems to think we need, or not a lot, we don't talk about it, is defensive tackle. I'm sorry, guys, but Fadokasi is meant to play in a 3-4. Okay, that's just fact. That's why he had the worst year of his career. or at least since we've gotten them. We need a better schematic fit, and the position. I mean, we're going to be okay if we put a job on the outside. We'll probably put JFM and Quinton Williams, but we need to have depth in that position because we like to rotate our guys. I say we have to add Devonte Wyatt right here. Devonte Wyatt is one of like 3 or 4 defensive tackles I think that are in their own tier. There's one very high that we all see. I forgot his name. That's in the top 10 in all the rankings. But then there's like 3 guys in this next tier, and then you fall off a cliff after that. Devonte Wyatt is one of those guys, so I'm going to grab him right now because we have all these extra picks. That trade early on gives us this opportunity to add on a defensive tackle. I think it's an important position. Now we're going to get our backup guys, okay? Now we're going to get like our second rung guys, like the extra guys. You know what, Miami? I'll do that pick. Hell yeah. Oh, no, I'm not doing that pick because I want to take Jeffrey Gunter to take another edge just in case the job doesn't work out. Your Pat's Blue Ribbon approves what the Panthers did at quarterback. Yeah, there you go. All right, we got 119. Let's look. Let me look and do a little review here. I'm going to go through the draft with you guys later. Did we end up taking a running back? No, we didn't take a running back, so we might want to look and see if our boy is still there that I really like. Oh, he's still there. That's a reach, though, at this point. I'm not taking him this early. Okay. We can take a developmental tackle now. We can take another safety. Corker's still there. I think, yeah, let's go strong on safety. Let's get 2 safeties. Boom. And did you notice that little pun I put in there? I said, let's go strong on safety. 145. Offense. Running back. Hello, Hassan Hoskins. Would you like to be a Jet? Okay. I think, do we have another pick? I don't know if we have another pick. That might be our draft, guys. I didn't get a kicker, but the kicker we have seems to be all right. He did nothing to deserve losing a job. Our current kicker. Kicker. You should take a kicker. What do you think the Panthers do at quarterback this offseason? I think that they're really stupid, so it's hard to predict. If they were smart, well, I'm not going to say that picking a tight end in this year's draft is smart or stupid. I think the problem with picking a quarterback in this draft is it doesn't feel like it's a strong year for quarterbacks, but that's kind of bullshit because it's really up to the staffing of each organization to rank and look themselves. So we don't know what Carolina's thinking. It's up to the team. They should have picked either. I think the better fit was Justin Fields, but they should have picked Justin Fields or what's his face from New England now, Macaroni Jones. They should have picked then and just bit the bullet and let them sit on the bench and they would have figured out that Darnold sucks and they would have had their quarterback already, or they could have picked one of those quarterbacks and Darnold was great and turned out to be great, and then they'd have a great problem because you have this young guy, these 2 young guys, and this year there's no quarterbacks coming out supposedly that are worth a shit, and you would have, let's say Darnold had a great year for them, and now they have Darnold locked up. You'd have Justin Fields or Macaroni Jones that you can flaunt around to teams that are quarterback hungry. So I think that they were really stupid last year. I think that unlike Joe Douglas, they don't read the future boards. They should have known that this was going to be a weak year. As a GM, they didn't only gamble on Sam Darnold by trading for him last year. They gambled it's even more of a gamble because they should have known if he doesn't work out, there's not even a guy this year in the draft. So they really screwed the pooch. If they like someone, if they like a quarterback that's coming out this year, if they were smart, they would just go and take them if they like them. Because I'm not going to sit there and say there's no way there's not going to be a good quarterback that comes out this year because that's just, you just don't know, right? We might get a superstar Hall of Fame quarterback come out this year. We have no idea. Okay. Gitmo's going to go to sleep on me, and I'm not going to get my grade. So let me go over what we did, then we'll talk more. David Ajabo, 14. He was the best edge we can get at that slot. When we were picking, the top 3 edges were off the board. So it's not my fault, Gitmo. We got Nakobe Dean, linebacker. We got Zion Johnson, guard. We got Trey McBride, tight ends. We got Jahan Johnson from Penn State. We got Chad Muma, another linebacker. We got Jalen Petra, safety out of Baylor. We got Alec Lindstrom, future center. Development, sit on the bench the first year, maybe not. Maybe McGovern won't renegotiate his contract, and we tell him to take a walk. Devonte Wyatt at defensive tackle. Jeffrey Gunter on edge. He's a dart throw, but I love him. Yusuf Corker, I believe, will be a starting safety in the NFL. Hassan Hoskins, we'll see. And we pick up a couple of late round picks, 5th and 7th next year. Yeah, okay. So at least we improved to B+, but I will say I did not have an opportunity for a better edge. So I hit the home run. I know I hit the home run with you by taking Zion Johnson. I know I hit the home run with you by taking Nakobe Dean. I know you're a big Nakobe Dean guy. I know that you like Trey McBride, tight end. I know you're excited about those at least, right? So I did my best. How did that song go? I did my best. But I guess my best wasn't good enough. That's some 80s movie. What movie was that? Last American Virgin. See that? I remember every 80s movie. So that is our second draft of the night. It is getting late. I'm getting tired. But we haven't hit the 2-hour mark yet. And have I ever done a stream that doesn't go at least 2 hours? I don't know if I have. I'll just sit here and hum. I'll sit here and go to sleep. But I will stream for 2 hours. You guys will all get to hear me snore. The problem is none of us know what JD is going to do, honestly. Who thought we were taking more in the second round last year? Exactly. We have no idea. We have no idea what anyone is going to do. We have no idea what JD is going to do. The one thing that we can predict, I think, because we did know a couple of... Sorry. I don't know about you guys, but what I got right last year was I said OL. I called Zach Wilson, by the way. Like, I called that pick. Not that I'm saying that's an amazing thing, but I called it very early on in the process. As soon as he exploded onto the scene and I looked at the footage, I said, oh, my God, if we don't take Zach Wilson and he goes to Atlanta and becomes a star and they get to go from Matt Ryan to Zach Wilson, I'm going to rip my house and burn it down. But anyway, so Zach Wilson, we got right. A lot of us were saying OL. I was saying OL. We got it right. He even traded up to get ABT. And it's true. We did not see Elijah Moore coming. That was the surprise. The Michael Carter thing wasn't a shock to me in the 4th round. And then all the other picks were. Every other pick. I saw none of those later picks coming. Not a one of them. I think if we could predict anything this year, that wouldn't be a surprise. I'm not saying it's definite, but wouldn't be a shocker to me if he takes an offensive lineman with one of those top picks, trades down a little, but like we see an offensive lineman. I do see it being strongly possible that he'll go Zion Johnson. Like, that could be something we nail, and that he does that in the second round. But I wouldn't be shocked if he took Iguano. I wouldn't be shocked if he took Neal. Nothing he would do at this point would shock me. I think Cross would shock me. Because taking a pure tackle means that he doesn't believe in Becton, so that would be shocking. That would be a shocking revelation. And I think that if one of them is there, he's taking an edge. I think that's very predictable. If either Hutch or Tibbs is there, he is absolutely going to take an edge. I think it's very I think that I'm as confident as that as when with the Zach Wilson. Like, to me, there's no question. If an edge is there, he's grabbing him. If Tibbs is there, he's grabbing him. There's just no way in my mind he's going to pass on that opportunity to get to address edge. Just no way. The defense is just so dependent on it. Like, if you're going to play this scheme and you're not going to blitz a lot and you're going to say, I'm leaving it up to 4 guys, their job is to pressure the quarterback. and then you go an entire season and you fail consistently to pressure the quarterback, you absolutely have to take an edge if a quality edge is there. So the only two that are in that top tier that I say we have to take with the fourth pick is either Hutch or Tibbs. I wouldn't take any of the others at 4. I wouldn't take a Jabo at 4. No way. No way. And I wouldn't take this Greek guy at 4. Nope. If they take him with 10th, I won't be mad if they take him at 10. If they take George Kalafdis at 10, if he was there and they took him, if they took a Jabo at 10, I'll trust our scouts and I'll trust there's a reason we did it. And I've heard people say, Angabear, we've looked, but these are all scary guys. These are all guys we're not sure about. That's why they're not in that top 10. That's why, and you got to understand, it's the position too. The reason they're even ranked in the top 50, a lot of it has to do with position. So they might not be as good at their position as a lot of guys behind them, but it's an edge, and that gets them higher points. So I don't know, man. Edges bust edges bust so much. But even first rounders bust. I mean, it's I just wish we'd find our edge already, like find our guy and have it. Like, I hope Lawson's great and we find a young guy that's great, because to me, it's like so hard to find them. Like in my life, since Gastineau, since those days, man, has it been hard to find one. Just what the hell? Can't find a freaking edge. Need it. This defense, can't play this defense without it. We saw how vulnerable we were when we didn't pressure the quarterback. And we also need linebackers, as Gitmo would tell you, because the space, because you can't expect CJ Mosley to cover the whole field. There was just too much space. We need to close the interior of that defensive line needs to improve. And we need linebackers who can stuff the holes. They can adjust on running plays, stuff the holes, and could read the screens. Can't have one guy back there that knows how to read a screen and that's it. Everybody else misses it. Can't have it. Got killed by screen passes all year long. That's what was frustrating. It wasn't one game. All year long. Screen. Could not stop a screen pass. It was just unbelievable. And it was like every team that played us that wasn't screening like crazy is just stupid. Like, like Jacksonville, why didn't they screen more? Like, even like Cincinnati, and like they didn't throw as many screen passes as they should have thrown. Like, they were so stupid. Like, you could just, like, we could not stop it. Like, it was, to me, if I'm a coach and I'm playing a team that has not proven they could stop something, the first thing I'm going to make them do is prove they could stop it. I'm going to screen until they stop me. And if they don't stop me, I'll screen every play until they stop me. It doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you? So we need to seal that up. I think JD takes an edge and OL in the first round, a tight end and linebacker in the second, all assuming no trades. After that, who knows who JD will surprise us with. I just wonder how much pain JD will cause GB, Green Bean. Well, we all know what is going to cause that pain. And that is not taking a tight end. So every round that goes by that we don't take a tight end is just cutting Green Bean's heart out. But you know what? I don't blame him for having his heart cut out, because it's so important. Like, it would be so much help. It would be so advantageous for Zach to have a tight end. Like, it just you can't say enough about it. It's like, just watch successful, so many great quarterbacks, man, rely on having a good tight end. It's like, so I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, but man, does it really help. To me, it actually prevents, you have less turnovers because of it, because when you have a safety valve like that, a big target that you can trust, you're not going to make as many mistakes. You feel safer. Like, you'll go, if the receivers aren't open, if you have any doubts, you just go to your safety valve, look for that big tight end. Hopefully Michael Carter stays healthy, because I think that Zach was discovering that was a good little safety valve right there. It would be nice to have a tight end and have that double threat so the defense doesn't know. Oh, when he progresses down and he's progressing down his progressions, just run towards Michael Carter. Like, it can't be that, right? But if we have a tight end coming across the field in the middle, like blocking and then delay coming across the field, Zach's going to do his progressions. Nope. Then he could look and he has two choices, right? In his head, he knows Carter did a block and went maybe out here in his head. He knows this is where Carter is. He has that in his head. He knows that his tight end is blocking a little, then is going to come across the middle. And then he looks up and he has two safety valves. He can see which one, take a quick glance, and just dump the ball off. Now, it's not exactly how that works. I was not an NFL quarterback. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it's my best reenactment. That was my reenactment of what might go through a quarterback's head and what it means to have safety valves. And I could be totally off, and anybody who knows the game might say I'm an idiot, but that's okay. I just know that we need a tight end. Jeremy, ever watched Game of Thrones? Yes, I've watched every episode of Game of Thrones, and I read the books. Dude, I'm the ultimate geek. I'm wearing a Save Ferris shirt. Are you kidding me? You don't think I know Game of Thrones? GOT? The guy literally took the guy's face and squashed his head like a melon. And they made it look real. I still have nightmares about it. What if some big guy took my head and squashed my head like a melon? Anyway, I think we're about done, right? I think we're about done. It looks like J. Cole watches Jersey Shore too. I don't know how you watch Jersey Shore over again. It's bad enough the first time. I mean, because when you watch Jersey Shore once, it's like you've watched it 7 times because they show every clip 10 times. Like before every commercial, they show you what's coming. Then when they come back, they show you what's coming. They showed you what was coming before the show. Then after the show, then they do a review of what happened. So you end up watching every season of Jersey Shore 15 times by the time you've watched it once. So if you watch it 7 times means you've really watched it like 90 times because you've seen every scene 90 times. I think we're done, guys. I think it's time for you all to go to bed. It's getting late. It's almost midnight there. Maybe you should put Saturday Night Live on or something. You know, maybe it's that time. I'm going to go downstairs and watch TV, I guess. Thanks for joining. I hope you like that. I got a B+ from Gitmo. I appreciate that. A lot of you left, and I didn't get to thank you for being on the chat. Jets gang, thank you. My nephew Nicholas was here before. Gitmo's been with us the whole night. Eric Craig was here for a long time and might even still be here. Owen was dropped by and might even still be here. Early on, Tom Bon Jovi was here. I don't know if he still is. I'll be on tomorrow again with my good friend John the Postman. And I will be on his channel, Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. I'll be on his channel at 12 p.m. Eastern. So tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, go to Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Go there on YouTube, search for it, find it. Go there, and you'll meet a couple of dudes. First of all, you'll get to see Pure Adrenaline, who's always part of this chat. And you'll get to see me, and I don't think Peo will be on because Peo is on sometimes, but I think he's going to be too nervous, and I just don't imagine him being on. And I think, but you never know, there's a chance. And I think his friend Sean might be back from somewhere. He wasn't around last week, but maybe he'll be back. So anyway, I'll definitely be there. John Post will be there. We'll be talking football. Braden, thank you. I will definitely see you later, and go New Zealand. And I will also tomorrow, by the way, be back at 3:00 Eastern for the Kansas City Cincinnati Bengals game. I will be with my brother. It will be a watch party. We're going to have an awesome time. So I will see you there. Again, if you're seeing this and you're saying, what the hell is this? I've never seen this show. What the hell's going on with this crazy? Who's this crazy bald guy? Anything like that, please hit the subscribe button. Even if you hate my guts, just do me that favor. Do a nice thing. Hit the subscribe button. So give me your sub and like the video, even if you hated it. Good night, everyone. Take care. Chaos out. Okay if he struggles. And we got a big game against the Eagles, and maybe you need some energy, so wake up! We have every right to expect the Jets to win. Rich Samini,
Bye, J.
schmuck,
Cole.
putz.